Richard, what are your thoughts on defining roles for your staff and giving them objectives and goals versus giving them your vision and letting them implement it and figure out who's going to do what and how?
Wow, let's see. I'm sort of, I'm about sort of 20 years away from sort of running businesses on a day-to-day basis. I'm having to sort of reflect back a little bit. I mean, what I'm dealing now more with, the various managing directors that are running the various Virgin companies, and I'm, as I was saying to one or two people last night, I'm an enormous believer in delegation, and I'm an enormous believer in not trying to second guess them too much. I'm an enormous believer in letting them make mistakes and make wonderful things, and trying to bite my tongue when I see a bad mistake. So I think it's my fault if I haven't got the right person there, and that's my role, is to make sure that we have the right people, and then very much just to let them get on and make extraordinary things, and because we've got so many different companies, some people will make things that I would never have made, if I'd been running it, and others will, maybe not push the company forward quite as fast as I might have pushed it forward. But there are managers of companies, there are entrepreneurs of companies, and both play a really important role.
You're managing director, you're looking for entrepreneurs, you're looking for managers?
Well, as I say, I mean, for instance, we had a record company in Germany, which was run by a guy called Udo. That's why I always remember your name. Where is he? I sort of walk in proudly in the morning, say, "Hi Udo, good morning," and he looks surprised that I know his name. But anyway, the only other German I know is from Munich, who's called Udo. So Udo, Udo was a great manager, and built the most successful independent record company in Germany. But he wasn't an entrepreneur, whereas Patrick Zelnick, who was building our record company in France, ended up setting up the Virgin Megastores and a whole lots of other companies. And both, I mean, if we wanted somebody to play an entrepreneurial role in Germany, we would have needed to take somebody else on, but we definitely didn't want to in any way undermine Udo, who was doing a fantastic job. So I don't think one is better than the other. They both play important roles, and good entrepreneurs, like all of us in this room, sometimes need to find really good managers to manage our businesses, to give us the freedom to then go off and do entrepreneurial things. I mean, I think. Again, we were talking on the beach about this last night. The best advice I can give, I think, a young business owner who maybe has, 25 staff or more, and has been, maybe just beginning to make some money, is, put yourself out of business. Find somebody else to run your company. Withdraw from the office yourself. Let that person, take control, do, all the day-to-day problems of running a business. The people always want to see the top person in the building. If you're not there, that other person will be the top person in the building. They'll have to do all that time-wasting stuff that goes on if you're just in a building with people. And you can then, by withdrawing, I mean, I did that quite early on in the record business, went back to my houseboat. I could then start, I could find time for my family, my kids who just born, time for my relationship, but also, it gave me then time to think about the bigger picture. And the bigger picture doesn't necessarily have to be a new business. It can be taking the business that you were drawn from into other countries. I mean, somebody last night was saying, you know, we were talking about remarkable things that they were doing with saving lives with traffic lights in America. Where is he? You know, one day you deserve to win a Nobel Prize for what you're doing. It's fantastic. But anyway, I'm being serious. If in your lifetime you can save thousands and thousands of lives, which it sounds like you're doing, you know, but he hasn't got the time to set it up in the UK or set it up in China. So you know, he needs to find somebody really good to run it on a day-to-day basis. And do the nuts and bolts with there it is, and then he can find the time to go and get the team, you know,